I mean, there it started again.
There it is. Okay, so do we have any volunteers to share a prayer to start?
There's Tara.
I see one.
That's right.
Is it okay if I say a prayer for the departed? We've had a number of people that I heard of just over the last couple of days pass away.
I'll be happy to say one.
Okay, Vala, you go first. I'll go after you.
Okay, great. Oh my God, verily thy servant, humble before the majesty of thy divine supremacy, lowly at the door of thy oneness, had believed in thee and in thy verses, had testified to thy word, had been enkindled with the fire of thy love, had been immersed in the depths of the ocean of thy knowledge, had been attracted by thy breezes, had relied upon thee, had turned his face to thee, had offered his supplications to thee, and had been assured of thy pardon and forgiveness, had abandoned this mortal life and had flown to the kingdom of immortality, yearning for the favor of meeting thee. O Lord, glorify his station. Shelter him under the pavilion of thy supreme mercy. Cause him to enter thy glorious and perpetuate his existence in thine exalted rose garden, that he may plunge into the sea of light, the world of mysteries. Verily, thou art the generous, the powerful, the forgiver, and the bestower. Allah.
O thou forgiving Lord, although some souls have spent the days of their lives in ignorance and become estranged and contumacious, yet with one wave from the ocean of thy forgiveness, all those encompassed by sin will be set free. Whomsoever thou willest, thou makest a confidant, and whosoever is not the object of thy choice is accounted a transgressor. Shouldst thou deal with us with thy justice, we are all naught but sinners and deserving to be shut out from thee. But shouldst thou uphold mercy, every sinner would be made pure and every stranger a friend. Bestow then thy forgiveness and pardon, and grant thy mercy unto all. Thou art the forgiver, the light giver, and the omnipotent. Abdul Baha.
Thank you so much. Happy fasting, everyone. Happy first day of the fast. We were thinking maybe for this, we begin with 5 to 10 minutes of just reflection and sharing the experiences. I know that this past Friday there was an event. I wasn't able to attend, so I hope that people will share their experiences of it and any reflections with the group. And then afterwards, we have a great deepening, I guess we could call it, from John and Nassim. Thank you for putting that together. Last week, there was a conversation in this group about the idea of chastity. And so people were very interested to learn more. And so we thought for the fast, we would have a session, and John offered to put it together. So I'm very excited, and hopefully everyone is as well. And then just one other thing, does everyone know each other? There's a few new faces. I just want to make sure, I think most people probably know each other. I'm the one that doesn't know everyone that well. So Tina, do you know everyone here? And Nasim?
Pretty much, yeah. I saw Pejman at the medical community workshop. And Shaheen,
Okay.
I know. Bala, I know. Pretty much everyone. Some of them, maybe I've just seen the names on your email. So that's why they seem familiar, but I may not have met them before. But I'm Tina Adraki. I'm an OBGYN, and I live in I said Northern California. I guess we all live in Northern California. I live in the cluster with the Concord Baha'i Center. I'm in Lafayette, just east of Berkeley.
Great. And Nasim, do you know everyone?
I met a lot of people tonight, and then I've heard a lot from John about the group. He always tells me fantastic things about this group.
Great.
So I kind of feel like I already know most of the people.
Yeah, welcome. We're so happy to have you both.
Thank you.
And then I see Taran has joined. We haven't seen her for a while, so it's good to have you back, Taran.
Hi, everyone. So nice to see you. Sorry, I'm kind of in the middle of doing a few things here, so
No
I'm
problem.
incognito tonight.
No problem. Thanks for joining.
It's nice to be here. Thanks.
All right, so maybe we can just start by sharing some reflections, and then at about 8:25, we'll switch over to, is that enough time, John?
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right, okay, great. So the floor is yours.
You're muted, Rami.
I was just talking to Anissa to bring me some
Or Miss Abzi?
of this stuff. Lemon, water, ginger. What are we reflecting on, Rod?
I think we wanted to just reflect on this past week's events. So, or if anyone has anything else to share.
I think the program that the group put together through Russell and Tina was available and me and I don't know who else went very, very well. A lot of positive feedback. It was really touching to hear people's stories. And it's a great start in community building and helping each other. I see a big spark that's gonna be very well.
Can you describe for Nasim what the event was?
Russell?
We'd hoped to do a community charrette. And when we started talking to the community about doing a charrette, they said a shahu. So the first thing we had to do was to change the name to a community health forum. And our hope was to try to engage the community around principally this question of why aren't we taking more agency over the tools that are out there, for example, the vaccine and other things. And as we started talking about that, people pushed back and said, well, I don't want to hear just about a vaccine, but I'm concerned about my heart. I'm concerned about this. And so we said, well, we'd open it up. And so we had 6. So Nasim, to answer your question, we wanted to engage principally the African-American, the brown people and poor people in and around Stockton, around health. And so we had 6 rooms where 6 professionals like Ramin and Tina and others, they came and they were paired with a local person. So like in Ramin's room, he's literally in a room with a gentleman that went to jail for being a gangster. And this gentleman has been an animator in Stockton. He's worked with us for some time. He's gotten to the point now where he has his own LLC and his own not-for-profit, and he's literally bringing Crips and Bloods together.
Russell, we hit it off really well. We're gonna start our own gang.
There you go. But I just can't tell you. And then the magic of, Tina was in a room with Lady J, a woman all the way from Florida, who does work with, young African-American women. And, every room was a pairing of a Baha'i professional with a community professional and sharing stories and bonding. And it was beautiful. It's just really beautiful, But we didn't achieve the major objective of giving Pejman a platform to engage meaningfully around some of the questions with COVID. And there's another route to do that, and that's to take Pejman by himself and just put him in the school, and I'm working on that. A couple of, just not to overtalk this event, but two really beautiful things is that the politicians came out and participated. They didn't just like show up and listen to the prayers and walk out, but one of them actively promoted the event. The other, the mayor, loved it and says, okay, so when are we doing the next one?
Oh, wow.
And so they are engaged. And one of the things that this book talks about, and we'll get to, we're not quite there yet, but outside of the US, the Baha'is are doing amazing things like this all the time. They just are. And they have seized moral authority. And so the politicians actually come to them to become legitimate. And this should not be a surprise as we walk the path of being more like Abdu'l-Baha, which is the big theme from the House of Justice for the coming year. Abdu'l-Baha was the one that the politicians came to fix their problems. Wherever he was, it was that initial year of them attacking him. But then after that, he was the pivot around which everything happened. And so when a Baha'i community is properly functioning, this is how it should be, right? So it's really cool, and we're trying to adjust and attune to that. And I feel like I'm over talking now, Rod. Is there anything else that people want to say?
Yeah, hi there, Vala here. I just first want to thank you guys for putting this together. And I think the first thing I want to say is there are a lot of different people, groups, Baha'is or not, who talk a lot, and then there's a certain group of people who just do a lot, and you guys are the ones who just do. You don't. You talk, you come up with a plan, and you do it, and it's consistent, and it's beautiful. And what really, really was so enlightening and inspiring to me was just all the different kind of background of people that were there, Iranian, African Americans, from all over the place, and everybody just really enjoying the talks. The ones that I was able to hear were very well done, a lot of preparation, and it showed. And I think I made personal invitations to multiple of my friends, and then I posted on Facebook and all, but I realized through time that doesn't work. It's the people that and you reach out to, and I reached out to a lot of my American Baha'i, African American friends and people I work with, and a couple of them came, at least 3 or 4 of them, and they all thanked me. They raved about it. They want to know more, see more. So it was just an amazing, excellent program, and I'm honored to be a witness to it.
Yeah, well, there's a demand to do more, and so we will. So a quick anecdote. There's every morning at 5, I'm in the gym with a group of people, and they're mostly women. And there's one Black woman, so I invited her to come, and she couldn't come, right? So today when I'm in the gym, she's like, "Oh, Russell, I forgot." So I'm like, okay. But she says, "Look, the next time you do that, let's go. I wanna go." And I'm saying this story to say that even the people that didn't come, the act of inviting them creates a potential, right? And so I'm excited about this group because I want to be able to come back to this group and say, okay, how can we do it again? And if we do it, we got to do it differently, and just tap different people so that we can keep it going. That's it.
So sorry, I don't want to keep talking. The only kind of constructive criticism I would have is maybe there were too many panelists, and then we ran out of time, and I would have loved to hear all of them, but we kind of were short on time. And so maybe next time we do it, we can kind of structure it so that it's a little bit faster pace, so we can actually get to more of the people who are kind of talking, and give just have a little bit more time and less kind of less speakers, more time. That would be what I would recommend.
Thank you for the feedback. Let's get more of that constructive feedback, please.
I think that was the only thing that I would say as well, that I wish I had more time to be able to reach out to more of the participants and stuff. And I don't know if you guys have thought about doing it like a half day almost or something like that, like maybe even a little bit longer. So, you know, that during the day, maybe on a weekend or something would be more more convenient for people to come to, and then they have, you know, kind of a chance to see more of the talks, because I know we were doing East Coast, West Coast thing, and it was harder for the East Coast people to be on so late. So it might be better to do it on a weekend, you know, like a symposium type thing almost.
That's excellent. Both of those are excellent points. Thank you guys for your contributions, your prayers, your time. And I think we're all in agreement that we'll try to do more. Is that right? Is that fair to conclude? Rod, I give it back to you, my friend, if he's still here. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, I had a question too, but I know we're at 8:25, so I can hold it back. It sounds like a wonderful event, and I hope there's more learning happening. So John, do you want to take it away?
Sure. I'm going to share my desktop here because I made a little presentation for you. Let's go here. All right. Do you all see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. So I called this, I'll explain it in a little bit, Chastity, a hidden door. And that's partly how I think about it. But before I start out, I just wanted to play a song for you to sort of set the mood. And also this song kind of says it all. And I'm going to try and just weave this all into a theme in the quotations that follow. I think Russell's heard this song before, but it's one of my favorites.
Ba-da-ba-ba, ba-da-ba-ba, ba-da-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba, ba-da-ba-ba, ba-da-ba-ba. Pass by whatever exists in this world and find me. Find me. Pass by whatever exists in this world and find me. Find me. I am the sun of perception, the ocean of science. I revive the withered ones and quicken the dead. I am that light which illumines the path of insight. I am the falcon on the hand of the Almighty. I bear healing in my wings and teach the knowledge of soaring. I bear healing in my wings and teach the knowledge of soaring to the heaven of truth. Pass by whatever exists in this world and find me. Find me. Pass by whatever exists in this world and find me. Find me. I am the sun of perception, the ocean of science. I revive the withered ones and quicken the dead. I am that light which illumines the path of insight. I am the falcon on the hand of the Almighty. I I bear healing in my wings and teach the knowledge of soaring. I bear healing in my wings and teach the knowledge of soaring to the heaven of truth. I bear healing in my wings and teach the knowledge of soaring. I bear healing in my wings and teach the knowledge of soaring to the heaven of truth. Pass by whatever exists in this world and find me, find me. Pass by whatever exists in this world and find me, find me, find me.
So to me, that refrain they were singing, pass by all that exists in this world and find me, is what it's really all about. And the reason why I get excited thinking about chastity, and especially now at the beginning of the fast, and I'm so happy for the chance to talk about it now, is we really have gotten, as a species, we're used to thinking of religious conceptions in terms of the past several millennia, right? The religions of the past have set us up to think of certain concepts like heaven and hell, chastity, ethics, morality, all of these things, we still often are using concepts that are centuries old. Whereas this faith is bringing in a new civilization, but also a new mode of religiosity for humankind that has never been seen before, is unlike anything. So chastity in particular, as it's been viewed in the past, and I mean, and I'm sure as a youth, I remember experiencing it, it's mostly presented as a moral constraint. That is chastity. There are a set of things that you should not do because if you don't do them, that will keep you pure, make God happy. I don't know how it is that people see it, but it's very much bound to ethics. Whereas I really think of chastity like a hidden door. Within human nature, there is a capacity that is unique among all creatures, that even when we live in the matrix of a material existence, we have a capacity to perceive spiritual realities. And this is absolutely unique. So the question then is, how do we develop this spiritual capacity? Because we know how to develop material capacities. We can look at the animals and see how they develop theirs. But developing the spiritual capacity is something that the religion of God uniquely gives us the instructions for how to do. And I think a lot of it comes down to the concepts of purity, chastity, and qualities of heart. So I'm going to ask people to read and popcorn to the next person when it comes time, but I'm going to start with Russell. This is a quote he and I have read before in one of our ruhis together.
Yes. Ye are even as the bird which soareth with the full force of its mighty wings, and with complete and joyous confidence through the immensity of the heavens, until, impelled to satisfy its hunger, it turneth longingly to the water and clay of the earth below it, and having been entrapped in the mesh of its desire, findeth itself impotent to resume its flight to the realms whence it came, powerless to shake off the burden weighing on its sullied wings. That bird, hitherto an intimate of heavens, is now forced to seek a dwelling place upon the dust.
Yes. So we are that bird, and we see that what's hindering us is this dust that has sullied our wings. So another analogy I use to think about this is the earth in relationship to the sun. So the sun is always shining with undiminished brilliance and not moving from its position. But the earth can often be clouded over. And when it's clouded over, that light can't reach us and it can't have its full effect. So in order to have that effect, the clouds need to be dissipated. They need to be broken apart. And that is another analogy given in the writings is that of burnishing a mirror, similarly, so that the light can shine through it. So I found this quote from the compilation on obligatory prayer and fasting. Russell, could you pick me a reader?
Yes, I popcorn to Shaheen Counts.
The fast. We beseech God to assist his people, that they may observe the most great and potent fast, which is to protect one's eye from beholding that which is forbidden, and to withhold oneself from food, drink, and whatever is ungodly.
And it's interesting that in his description of the fast, abstaining from food and drink is the second part of the description. The first is protecting one's eyes from beholding that which is forbidden. Christ actually gives a similar admonition. He even goes further. He says, take your eye, pluck it out and throw it into the fire, lest it betray you, because it's better to lose one eye and enter heaven than to keep your eye and be taken into the fire. So there's this idea, this very potent concept that there is something in us which is eternal, but it's precious. It's very sensitive. It's very delicate. And the life that it lives in, it can be easily corrupted from its purpose, from its original goal. And then this next quote from Abdul Baha, if you could pick someone, Shaheen.
Let's go with Tina.
Thank you. Entrance into the kingdom is through the love of God, through detachment, through holiness and chastity, through truthfulness, purity, steadfastness, faithfulness, and the sacrifice of life.
I also think of our soul as if it were a very, very sensitive instrument, capable of perceiving the divine. But like any sensitive instrument, if the environment in which we place it has too many conflicting influences, it just makes it so hard to hear, so hard to detect what it is we're meant to find. So like a compass, if it's surrounded by metal, it will distract the compass and you won't be able to get an accurate reading. It needs to be in a setting where all of the obstructions have been removed from around it. And then the compass can point the way, unerringly so. And so in that respect too, this hidden word has been on my mind for the last couple of years, and I've really been thinking about it a lot. Rod has heard me mention this hidden word before. Tina, if you could pick someone for me.
Sure, I was gonna pick Rod.
All right.
O son of earth, know verily the heart wherein the least remnant of envy yet lingers. I'm around people and
What?
I'll reread it one more time. People were talking around me, and as soon as I started, everyone went quiet. Forgive me. One more time. O son of earth, know verily the heart wherein the least remnant of envy yet lingers shall never attain my everlasting dominion, nor inhale the sweet savors of holiness, breathing from my kingdom of sanctity.
So the quote we read just a couple slides ago, Abdul Baha said that the kingdom of God may be entered through detachment, holiness, chastity, and these other qualities of heart. And then here Baha'u'llah very emphatically says that if the heart does not possess these qualities, it cannot attain his everlasting dominion. And the reason why this quote has been so fascinating to me recently is because for a long period of time, I read this as presenting an impossible challenge. Because it is very hard to have a heart that has no envy in it whatsoever, right? There are a lot of enviable things out there in the world. But I came to read it a little differently, which is instead of it telling me that I'm basically not going to achieve this everlasting dominion, what I think he's giving me here is a litmus test. He's saying, if you still have envy, then you haven't found what it is you're looking for. Because what you are seeking is so priceless in nature, so refined, so basically what you were built to know and the reason for your happiness, that if you still find your heart drawn with envy toward any other thing, you're not there. You can't enter with that, because it would be like having an expert gem assayer who gets distracted by broken glass. Nobody's going to accept that person into the assayers convention. They've basically proven they lack the capacity. And so I feel like this quote is actually a hopeful statement. It's basically saying there is something out there that is so wondrous that if you still have a desire for anything else, then you have further to go. And this kind of similar thought is expanded on in Gleanings. So Rod, if you could pick someone.
Sure, Amdad.
Say, he's not to be numbered with the people of Baha who followeth his mundane desires, or fixeth his heart on things of the earth. He is my true follower who, if he come to a valley of pure gold, will pass straight through it, aloof as a cloud, and will neither turn back nor pause. Such a man is assuredly of me. From his garment, the concourse on high can inhale the fragrance of sanctity. And if he met the fairest and most comely of women, he would not feel his heart seduced by the least shadow of desire for her beauty. Such an one, indeed, is the creation of spotless chastity. Thus instructeth you the pen of the Ancient of Days, as bidden by your Lord, the Almighty, the All-Bountiful.
Thank you. This was the first quote that I read. I remember reading this a long time ago and just thinking, man, that's a high bar. But now I'm thinking of it. I think the analogy I thought up at the time was, if I'm trying to go to a restaurant to have like the best prime steak and somebody offers me a hot dog, I'd be like, no way. It's not what I'm here for. I know what good food is. And interestingly enough, similar to what this quote is saying, I found a prayer from Baha'u'llah expressing a very similar idea in prayers and meditations. So Emdad, if you could pick somebody.
I'll pick Shaheen.
Lauded be thy name, O thou who art the goal of my desire. I swear by thy glory, how great is my wish to attain unto a detachment so complete that were there to appear before me those countenances which are hid within the chambers of chastity, and the beauty of which thou didst veil from the eyes of the entire creation, and whose faces thou didst sanctify from the sight of all beings. And were they to unveil themselves in all the glory of the splendors of thine incomparable beauty, I would refuse to look upon them, and would behold them solely for the purpose of discerning the mysteries of thy handiwork, which have perplexed the minds of such as have drawn nigh unto thee, and awed the souls of all them that have recognized thee. I would, by thy power and thy might, soar to such heights that nothing whatsoever would have the power to keep me back from the manifold evidences of thy transcendent dominion, nor would any earthly scheme shut me out from the manifestations of thy divine holiness.
So to me, that really spoke to me of the mystery of chastity, that he said he would only behold them for the purpose of discerning the mysteries of his handiwork. That he wouldn't want to look upon them just for them themselves. It would only be for what they revealed of God to him. Does anyone have any thoughts? Because I know that this is a very intense paragraph, and I wanted to give people a chance to say what they've been thinking.
All I know is that only Baha'u'llah can write in such potency.
Indeed. Then Shaheen, will you pick somebody?
Let's go to Rami.
The pen of the Ancient of Days declareth, no ear but mine can hear my words, nor any eye but mine apprehend my beauty. How can the eye be clouded by the film of vain desire ever behold the most great vision? Know thou that the love of God is a purifying agent. Wherever it entereth, there no stranger will remain. Baha'u'llah.
Right. How can the eye be clouded by the film of vain desire ever behold the most great vision?
Find Lohe Hussein.
Yeah. Hasn't been authoritatively translated yet. Rami, will you pick someone?
I will popcorn to Mitra.
Understanding the divine words and comprehension of the utterances of the ideal doves have no connection with outward learning, but depend upon purity of heart, chastity of soul, and freedom of spirit. For at the present time, there are some servants who have not seen a single letter of the forms of learning, yet they are seated upon the summit of knowledge, the gardens of their hearts adorned with roses of wisdom and tulips of insight, through the cloud of the divine bounty. Blessed are the sincere ones through the lights of the great day.
So purity of heart, chastity of soul, freedom of spirit, all inner qualities. And so when I think of the fast, I think of it being like a time set aside in the year to focus on those qualities.
John, when you define the word chastity or chasten, please elaborate.
So from what I have read in the dictionary and some other sources, chastity is purity of desire. So it is to only wish for the thing that is the subject of your either relationship or connection. So in marriage, chastity would be loving only your spouse. In the divine relationship, it would be loving things only for the sake of God. It is an uncorrupted desire.
Am I allowed to remark, or we?
Please remark.
You know, I think one of the things about human beings is that we are wedded to our desires, and we are desiring beings.
Yes.
And well, there's a lot that I could say here, but let's continue with your presentation.
I like your point though, Russell, because we're meant to desire. Even Abdu'l-Baha says greed has a purpose.
You better
If it's
believe it.
greed for God.
Desire is a facet of the human condition that never goes away. It's about channeling and directing that desire.
Exactly. So I've seen how in some conceptions of religion, they seek to extinguish desire.
Can't do
But in
that.
these writings from Baha'u'llah, I see him saying, no, focus it. In fact, strengthen it so long as it has that focus.
You have endless desire for knowledge also.
Right. If it's knowledge conjoined with the love of God, which Abdu'l-Baha says, that's the source of all good. A short quote, if you want to pick someone next.
Nassim?
One must make ready the reciprocal and become worthy of the descent of heavenly bestowals.
So I find this repeating theme in the writings of making ready, burnishing, cleansing, purifying, making, aligning, attuning, all to me aspects of chastity. Nessie, you pick some.
On the list I see here, I pick Pejman.
Progress of man depends upon faithfulness, wisdom, chastity, intelligence, and deeds. He is ever degraded by ignorance, lack of faith, untruth, and selfishness. Verily, man is not called man until he be imbued with the attributes of the merciful. He is not man because of wealth and adornment, learning and refinement. Blessed is he who is free from names, seeking the shore of the sea of purity, and loving the melody of the dove of virtue.
And now I'm going to throw in a poetic verse here, if you could pick someone.
I pick Bayan.
You pick me, right?
Yes.
Okay, so meditate on what the poet had written. Wonder not if my best beloved be closer to me than mine own self. Wonder at it, that I, despite such nearness, should still be so far from him. Oh.
Right. And after all we've been reading, then it makes me reflect upon what he is referring to here. It may not be distance at all, but the distraction of the heart. And we have two hidden words, and then we will be over. So if you could pick someone, Vada.
Sure. Let's go with Tara, if she's with us.
I'm here. Thank you.
And this starts, "O Son of Light." I'm sorry, I forgot to include the title.
Okay. O Son of Light, forget all save me and commune with my spirit. This is of the essence of my command. Therefore, turn unto it.
I feel like that's the fast in 2 sentences.
Mm-hmm.
And then this last hidden word, I actually have a song that goes with it that will sing the words.
shine imperishable and everlasting. يا ابن الروح في يبل الغول املك قلبا جيدا حسنا منيرا لتملك ملكا دائما باقيا أزلا قديما أزلا قديما أزلا قديما
So that's everything of quotations that I have. So I'll give it back to the group for the time remaining.
Thank you, John. That was great. Beautiful.
Hey, John, it was very nice. Very well put from the Baha'i perspective. Now, having your background in philosophy and all you know about Socrates and others, it would be nice to do a compare and contrast historically between what virtuous things that they. I think those individuals were also spiritual beings, and what came out of their mouth in such potency um, was from God also. And I think it would be nice to extract those information and compare to the Baha'u'llah's compilation, and then put it into a presentation. It would be very potent given your background. What do you think?
I'm always interested in understanding more deeply and from other perspectives what's in the writings. Absolutely.
Thank you. That was very well done. I have my older daughter is 14, my younger one just turned 12. And so my wife and I try to talk openly about virtues, chastity, and all. I just feel it's such a huge challenge with all the social media and all the struggles and obstacles in teenagers' way. I wonder if there are any advice or kind of assistance for the teenagers who may not fully comprehend these words that are to maybe to some of the older people make perfect sense, but they don't make much sense. Like when I was 14 or 15, I would hear some of them, but they wouldn't necessarily register with me.
Mm-hmm. Well, I certainly remember being of that age. Chastity was primarily a subject that was concerned with avoidance, avoiding things that you wanted, avoiding things that other people had and made seem attractive. And that when it's rooted in avoidance, it's very hard to make sense of it. It's not going to make sense because these desires we have are so natural. None of my friends are being harmed by pursuing it that I can see. So why would I care other than my dad or my mother wanting me to care? And it has to be the same for the same reasons that our junior youth program is not about like basically fixing junior youth, but tapping into their natural capacity to pursue social justice. We turn the concept of educating youth around for the junior youth empowerment program to show that they are already beings of such capacity and ability that society simply has failed to call on them for that ability. So I think similarly with issues like this, it's if we're seeking to restrain or to impose a view of the world on them, we're going to run into the same difficulty that we had trying to stir up junior youth to do the things we wanted them to do. But if we clue them in somehow that there is something greater to be found, and that chastity is a key to getting there, that it's something they themselves would want. I think if we can reach them, we can tap into their own roots of motivation. And then we won't have to be the ones imposing this on them.
John, that was beautifully said, exactly to the point. Like you said about that compass, you have to clean all that stuff around it, but it's extremely difficult given the environment to clean everything around that compass. But like you said, it's two forces pulling. And that's why I think as much as that they're getting that in the environment, we have to bombard them with our environment so that they eventually see the benefit of the chastity and the purity and what the end result is. Like you said, if they see it, it will be much better than we try to enforce it.
Right.
I saw M. was raising his hand as well.
Yeah. So, I want to say a few words. I don't even know how I'm going to express this, but as we're reading the material tonight together, I have these flashbacks of my daily, work and the people I come across, and I'm sure you guys do as well, somehow related to how your days are going and however you're serving out there. Vala, what you were just saying about kids, in my professional life, I can't talk about religion really much, so there's that layer of how am I going to do this? Not even talking about the faith or even God at work, and then, work in a corporation. It's there's a lot of rules, and I'm a leader there, and I have to watch what I say, how I say it. So it really puts in perspective of how we have to be, and it's really super focused on our action. And I'm still trying to figure it out. Every day I'm trying to figure something else out, and somehow, some way, I'm still making mistakes. And being corrected at work sometimes. But I think it's just a journey that we're going to be be a part of. And as we grow, hopefully as a result of our actions, others, well, I guess hopefully we're able to influence others in a way that they can take something away. But like the world that we are living in is not, it's hard. It's not easy. People are not receptive. It's really, really hard, you know? And people don't have that underlying understanding of a lot of the basic human virtues that need to be there for us to build on. But I guess this is a journey we all share together. So I appreciate you guys being here, because again, it energizes me back to get back on there and try to contribute again tomorrow.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, Rod.
No, go ahead, Russell. You were about.
I feel the same way about this group. It gives me the power to do the things I do. And seeing these, I mean, John's talk tonight was just amazing. And it just sent me to heaven, and it gives me the power, and talking with these folks and the love that you're getting. And yeah, I think we get it from each other too. You're not the only one in Dodd.
For sure.
Thank you. Yeah, I am conscious of time. We usually end at 9. I don't want to cut it short at all, the conversation. So those that would like to stay are welcome to. But I also just wanted to connect it also to our study. If you recall, a few sections ago, we were discussing what are some of the capacities and capabilities built through the Institute process, and how you begin to see them at the grassroots in neighborhoods and villages where many people are involved in the Institute process. And if you remember, there were like qualities such as justice or forgiveness that you started to see like manifestations of in the community itself. And without a doubt, purity and chastity is an environmental thing, like what Ramin was mentioning. And so much of the environment around us is not plugged into what John shared with us tonight. So it is very connected to the qualities and capabilities built through the Institute process. And the more youth are engaged in it, they can struggle together and try to find the divine, as John was bringing up tonight. So it was just beautiful, and I really felt uplifted as well. Thank you for sharing. But yeah, I wanted to give people a chance if they need to leave.
It's the fast. We should part.
Yeah, now is the time. And then next week we can pick up where we left off in the book.
Hey John, I just wanted to say that was really beautiful. Sorry we joined so late, but
we just broke fast right now. So sorry.
I was thinking while you were presenting about chastity being not a constraint, but more of an opportunity. You know, in the past 4 decades that I think most of us have been around, first prayer, I think, came and emerged as a lifestyle component confirmed by science with, the Harvard studies showing that meditation would center and focus the mind, and it became mainstream, popular, life's an element of a modern kind of efficient lifestyle. And after prayer, in the past decade, intermittent fasting became something that was a hot trend in popular media, and all the science jumped on board, and it became a component of an elevated lifestyle. And I think chastity is turning that corner at this juncture too, and a lot of young people are exploring the physical enhancements, emotional, spiritual, and physical enhancements that come from chastity. And it's emerging as a grassroots lifestyle amongst elite, efficient young people who want to achieve. So I think we are seeing the laws of Baha'u'llah falling into place empirically from the grassroots of community participation in science. So that was a cool trend I've observed as well.
Friends, maybe in the interest of the fast, we should part and maybe say a closing fast prayer. And then we'll be here again next week. Where's Rod? Is he here still? Tina, would you bless us with a prayer? Is that okay?
Did you say my name? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, I would love to. I would love to. Okay, so finding one for the fast.
Faster, Tina, faster.
I'm finding it. Hold
I'm
on,
just
Paula.
kidding.
Gosh, patience is a virtue, man.
If I didn't bother you, what good would I be?
Okay, so this is one for the fast. Praise be thou, O God, my God. These are the days wherein thou hast enjoined thy chosen ones, thy loved ones, and thy servants to observe the fast, which thou hast made a light unto the people of thy kingdom, even as thou didst make obligatory prayer a ladder of ascent unto those who acknowledge thy unity. I beg of thee, O my God, by these two mighty pillars, which thou hast ordained as a glory and honor for all mankind, to keep thy religion safe from the mischief of the ungodly and the plotting of every wicked doer. O Lord, conceal not the light which thou hast revealed through thy strength and thine omnipotence. Assist then those who truly believe in thee, with the hosts of the seen and the unseen, by thy command and thy sovereignty. No God is there but thee, the Almighty, the most powerful. Baha'u'llah.
Aloha, thank you.